Did you ever forget to do your laundry? Did you ever forget the contents of the book the day after you've read it? Did you ever forget the script for a video and went completely off rails and just improvised the whole thing? You get the point. But what is the difference between people that remember everything and people that forget everything? And I think there are three key differences between these types of people. And the first one is the amount of information that these people hold in their brain. So people that forget everything, I think, tend to try to hold more information in their brain. So they try to remember everything and just shove it in there. And they're also more likely to be constantly bombarded with information, be overstimulated by new information. So think about scrolling through your feed on any social media for hours. Your brain will be fried. Your brain will be so flooded with new information that it will not know what to remember, what to forget, and you're gonna forget to do your laundry eventually. And people that remember everything, I think, first are less stimulated by the information overload, so they spend less time overloading themselves with new information. And second, they delegate remembering to computers. So I have like a second brain, and in my Notion, where I just put all of my tasks, put all of my ideas, and it helps me to remember stuff that I don't actually want to remember. So for example, I have a notification that comes every Sunday that I have to do my laundry, or that I have to pay rent. So I don't have to remember these things. I don't hold them in their brain. So I have more capacity to actually remember more important things. So all of these miscellaneous items, I just delegate them to a computer, and I have a system where I have tasks, and they're you can filter the tasks by a domain of life, and basically I just delegate everything to a computer, and that's why I can remember more. Second distinction between people that forget everything and people that remember everything is the ability to make connections between new information that they're trying to remember and the information that they already have in their brain. So people that forget everything tend to not make any connections between stuff that they're learning and stuff that they already have in their head. So think about, I'll give you an extreme example. Think about trying to learn a poem in a foreign language. You're not gonna remember anything, because first of all, it's in a foreign language. There's these words will not mean anything to you. These are just sounds that they are not you can't associate any of these words with some visual or some audio or some image in your head. So if it's about a horse, you wouldn't know it. So it's gonna be very hard to learn that, and that is an extreme example of not making any connections between stuff that you're learning and stuff that's already in your head. But people who remember everything make lots of connections between stuff that they're learning and stuff that's already in their head, and these connections are not always obvious, let's say. So let's say you're learning a poem and in your own language, right? And you tried to memorize each line. So people who remember everything would connect everything in such a way, in maybe multiple ways, that will help them remember this poem. So maybe connect it visually as a story that goes on in their head. They will imagine a story, or maybe they'll connect it somehow, or in a audio way. They will try to visualize an audio pattern or something like that. So basically making connections and trying to attach information in your brain not in just one place but in multiple places, and making like analogies, metaphors, these are also great. These like analogies and metaphors basically exist because they help you remember things. So this is the second distinction. Third distinction is, I think, the level of interest that people have towards the information that they try to learn or memorize or remember. And I think people who tend to forget everything, tend to find the information that they're trying to learn and memorize boring. And like, think about an example. Like, think about what's inside of a yogurt, for example, right? You wouldn't remember because it's boring. And think about the starting 11 for your favorite soccer team. You're probably gonna remember it because it's way more fun. So people who remember everything, I think, try to find fun in the things that they're learning, or lean towards things and the subjects that are more fun, so that they have a better chance of understanding. So if you're learning something that is boring and it's constantly, it's always boring, then you're probably in the wrong field, and that like it's gonna be harder to retain information in your brain. So one thing, it's a good indicator. If you want to hold more information in your brain, try to lean towards interesting information, and you will remember it effortlessly, basically. So yeah, so these are the three distinctions. First is the amount of information that people hold in their brain. Second, the ability to make connections. And third, how interesting is the information. So yeah, this is it, and see you tomorrow.